slightly just after 8:45 on a Monday night. And you know what time it is for then? No, it's not time for another Mastermind Marathon. It is time for the Tier 1 boys of MRC. Joining me tonight is a man who, like myself, had a bit of a nightmare tonight with this track and this whole circuit, but we've decided to have some fun and enjoy ourselves in the commentary box a bit tonight. It is my partner in crime in the Aston Martin team for Tier 2. It is Mr. Keita Soze. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, good evening. I won't ask how you are because we both know exactly where we are with regards to the race we've just had.
I think we need probably some therapy after what we've just gone through.
Yeah, you're not wrong, to be perfectly honest. But let's hope the Tier 1 guys put on a bit of a show for us this season. And
yeah.
Moves back up. Are you, by the way, are you racing Wednesday? Are you partaking in that? Can't remember if your name's on there.
I am not, unfortunately. I am in some other commitments with one of the Williams drivers, and no, that does not mean what you think it means.
It just means you're in that fortunate position where you don't have to worry about Cota again for at least another season.
I'm not. I'm somewhere probably even worse, but we push on. We start first. We see the first lap car is Mr. Bergen. Calvin, sorry.
G-Star looked like fairly early out the door as well.
Yeah, I think Bergen is going to be Calvin, sorry, is going to be our first person to take us on a lap of the Circuit of the Americas tonight. Personally not one of my favourite circuits, but here we go. As he starts the long run up the hill towards turn 1. Very blind apex to get this right. It's you have to have a couple of stabs at it to get it right as he blasts down the hill towards the first sector of the lap, which is a lot of people call the discount Maggots and Beckett's.
Yeah, rip off.
Yeah, there's a lot. Sorry, you were going to say?
I was going to say it's not quite as fun as the actual Maggots and Beckett's. It's not too bad, but as you probably experienced yourself when you get about 5 or 6 laps in on the race, that gets a little bit shady around those corners.
Yeah, it's the track limits aren't the best here, I will not lie.
No. And it's one of those tracks that you do have to, a lot of it, you have to really sort of maximise the curbs. I mean, the turn-ins, especially the two, the start and the finish of the long straight.
Yeah, as we've got a disqualification. We have a disqualification. Lorpy is, I think he said, parked in a dangerous location as Bergen finishes sector 2, and as we spoke about this circuit imitating others, Bergen's just gone through the reverse Turkey turn 8, as I will end up dubbing it tonight, as he comes around the final corner to finish our first lap of the evening.
Calvin just invalidated.
He must have done it at the last corner. As
right
Carl, you can save this footage for a couple of minutes, Carl. Your pole on Tier 1. As the rest of everybody, some of the regular runners start to get their laps in. Bobo takes provisional pole for the minute on a 32.5. Jay Sarge gets his lap on another 33.0. Colin 33.1. Chris on a 33.2, but again he's doing his normal strategy of getting the mediums runners through on there. Hodgie is just starting his lap. Sam Flander going through here. Airways just finishing his lap in reserve for the Mercedes. He's already had a run in Cota tonight in the Tier 2 race, and I think he's a madman for doing it all again. Personally.
G-Star's just started his Sector 1. He's going for another run.
Yeah, he's got the home crowd behind him tonight because he is in the American team's car. The Haas for tonight. And speaking of Haas in real life, I'm excited for them for this season.
Yeah, no, it should be good. I'm interested to see what the Bear can pull out of the bag. That's going to be an interesting one, I think.
It's a very strong lineup they have in real life for this season with Ocon and Ollie the Bear Bearman
Yeah.
for this season. I'm looking forward to seeing how they get on.
I'm looking forward to the season in general. I think it's going to be a real spicy one this year. I think there's going to be a lot of winners. And yeah, I think it's going to keep us on our toes. I don't think it's going to be one that's decided 4 or 5 races before the end of the year. I think it's going to go down to the wire.
Oh, definitely, I think so. As we're starting to get some laps through thick and fast now, who's only onto the provisional pole for now, and only a 10th behind him. Let's go and find who Joni's best friend, shall we, Mr. Ben? In the other house tonight, he's going to be trying to G up the home crowd, as we said with G-Star, try and get some good results for the American team.
They were saying in the Tier 2 comms, I think tonight, that the quali lap was like a low 132, and they were wondering if Tier 1 was going to make it into the 131s, and there we go. I mean,
I think Ben could get the third.
That's. I mean, he's made Ugani's look slow. To be honest with that one, that's crazy.
How can he be so? The car looks like it's on rails. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I might put myself on board next time he comes around to do a fast lap and see what this is all about.
Just record the footage and just use it for references.
Yeah, he can be my coach. But I mean, yeah, what are we looking at? 5?
Saviour 31.6. He just finishes his lap. Let's hope the Aston Martins. Let's hope the actual Tier 1 Aston Martins could do better than what we did tonight. Well, to be fair, we didn't exactly set the bar really too high, did we?
Not massively. It shouldn't be too difficult for them to overachieve.
No, I think we might get the phone call from Lawrence probably tomorrow or Wednesday just to ask us what the hell happened. But
when he tells us his son's a better driver than we are, that'd be heartbreaking.
I don't think I've ever been insulted in my whole life. Let's go on board with the tyre whisperer, the multilinguist, which nationality picking today. I've also noticed as well with Ant today, he's actually not put the intermediate tyres on a dry track.
Yeah, that's quite unusual, isn't it? He normally does a Bailey, doesn't he?
Yeah, Ant, are you feeling okay tonight, mate? As he picks up the toe off the Ferrari. Is that it? Is that his old teammate?
Let's see who that was there.
And that Ferrari, is that a number 13 on the back? It could be both. It could be either one of them, to be honest. It'd be funny if it was Chris just trying to give his old teammate a toe. Like back in the old days.
It's quite handy to have like race engineers around here on a regular basis. It's just somebody in your ear giving you a bit of a lowdown on what people are doing in the race.
Oh, as Ant comes in, his luck Collins just invalidated. Let's go see what Bobo's doing. He's been a very strong season he's had this season as Bobo. He's been up there. Some pretty good results. He's been mixing well with, especially with Bailey, Ujoni, Ant, and everyone else. It seems like he's been getting he's been up in that front 6 group quite a lot.
Yeah.
Recently, he was
definitely a familiar name. Definitely. They seem to pop up quite a bit at the moment.
Yes, as I'm just going to have a quick check of the championship standings actually for Tier 1 tonight before tonight's action. We've got Ben in first place on 107 points. Then we've got Saviour in P2 on 94, and then 1 point back in with 93 points. It is Ujoni. So the front 3 in the championship are the front 3 in qualifying at the moment, in the right order.
Not too bad.
With Chris back on 54 and Anton and Bobo on 48. With
about 2 temps up at the moment.
He is. Just thought I'd have a quick flick through the championships for everybody.
Yeah, it's quite unusual to have Ugoni down in 3rd place. This many races into our season.
Yeah, it is. It's a new challenge for him, definitely. He's normally the one that's being hunted, but he's the one having to do the hunting this season with Then again, showing his pace that he was able to challenge a journey from last season. Save Calvin.
Oh, look at that!
Where's that
Now,
come from?
Calvin actually in practice on last night, I think it was. He put in a lap at the end. I think it was at the end of practice, but it was way out there for a practice session, and it rinsed the usual guys that you see at the top of the practice. It was insane.
That's a gauntlet to throw down, Calvin. That's
might be one of his favourite tracks, perhaps.
That's a lap which just says, okay, you haven't forgotten about me, boys and girls. I am here, and I am going to cause these championship runners some mischief tonight as well. As Jules has jumped into P4 as well. He's putting the cat amongst the pigeons tonight. As well, who have we got on a lap? Sarge is invalidated, unfortunately. Oh, let's go on board quickly with the Middlesbrough Meister and see what he's going to finish up with his lap. At the moment, on the mediums, just trying to probably bed the set in for the Grand Prix, I think. But Hodgie, I think, is just going to be looking probably for some good points tonight. I think more than anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know, let me just check the chat, because I'm sure he was in the chat just before the race started. Right, so look,
he's finishing up. He's going into the pits. Okay, Ben's just gone, okay, Calvin, you're not going to have that for too long. 30.9, that's insane.
That is crazy fast. That's esports level, surely. I mean, they're like high 129s, I think. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, Ben, you've proven your point. Watch him. He'll do another lap. He'll go out on the final run and try and he'll get into the 30.5. 30.5. I'll call it now.
30.5, yeah. Let's have a look. He's coming in now as well, so.
Yeah, he's invalid.
What's the time on? 5 minutes left. Alright.
We have had a few messages in the chat. Let's see. We had
dry session.
Oh, Hodgie, take it easy on yourself tonight. I've just read what he put in chat.
Yeah. Is that? I wonder if that's the accelerator or the brake.
That will be the brake, I think. Normally on the left foot.
Oh, it's left, is it? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, left ankle, yeah, sorry. It was covered. Oh, that's horrible.
I don't envy him in the slightest.
He might be able to have less pressure on it.
Yeah, but thankfully for Hodgie, I think tonight there's only really 3 big stops around this place. It's the corner Chris is just coming out now onto the back straight. The long corners, the corners I say at the end of the straight, and probably turn 1. They're probably the biggest stops on this whole circuit. Chris is 8 tenths up on this lap at the minute. He could fire himself into quite a good position at the moment if he hooks the rest of this lap up.
I mean, his initial run, what, 33.2 on a set of mediums. You've got to be looking at a low 32, surely, with a...
No, 32.31, I reckon he could sneak into. He nails his last corner, which he does beautifully. Oh, just off the 31s, the 32.0. He'll be happy with that. Makes it
not bad.
An old Ferrari 4th row, I believe, with his teammate. Which, if they can keep that up together, it'll be a nice little interesting tactic during the race. They could work together quite nicely.
I sort of wonder with the time that's left if Bailey's done like 1 run and then he's going to have a cool down and then on slightly lower fuel have one more one more go at it or not.
You reckon he's going to recharge?
I'm
think.
not entirely sure.
Yep,
I don't know, it just seems unusual for him to not be out towards the end of the session on a lap already.
He does normally tend to go earlier than the last run, doesn't he? He normally tries to get another lap in before everyone else feeds out the pits.
We've got 2 minutes, that's a good.
It's still 6 rounds in, but I still can't get used to you, Joni, in a Red Bull. It's alien, isn't it?
It's all a bit strange. It's gonna be like, I've seen a bit of real life testing and keep seeing old Hamilton in the red. And it's just all kinds of weird.
Yeah.
I think I spent about 10 minutes watching one of the Mercedes going round before I realised I wasn't actually on the right car at all. I should have been looking at something in the red.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's very strange.
As Joni gets through turn 1, see what I think he's backing out the lap. Yep, he is.
And Bailey's definitely got a full battery now, so I think
he's going to be going on again. Yep, he's on another flyer. Sam Flan's just started his last flying run for the night. And that 1.6. I think he's on a back off lap. Ant's just warming up. Jules is warming up. Bobo has just started his flying lap, so we'll keep an eye on him for just a minute or two.
Currently,
no, I think Bobo's actually backed off. Yeah, Bobo's backed off as well. I think he's finished. Is that Jules on an out lap? Has got Ujoni right on his tail.
Sorry, I was going to say earlier on the turn in before the long back straight and at the end of it, where the corners are set the way they are, you can cut the absolute what's it out of them. And I've just witnessed Bailey do by far the best. It's not a corner cut because you can't possibly get all 4 wheels off track at the same time. And it was yeah, it was the best cut I think I've seen so far in everyone's cockpit view.
One of the cleanest as Calvin comes through down the long back straight, the second DRS point on this place. There's only 2 here actually, which is the front straight and the back straight here, as he plunges down into turn 9, I believe. 6,000th down.
Oh, see. Oh, there you go. He's finished. Obviously, he's driving around like he's in a rally car at the moment.
Yep, as one of the kickstabbers gets out of the Mercedes way nicely.
I've literally just witnessed Ugoni do a Scandinavian flick into the last turning before the long straight.
Scandi flick as Calvin improves his time but doesn't improve position. Stays P2 as Ben finishes his lap. He nearly puts it in the wall himself. Saviour 3/10 up. He could still usurp Ujoni and get on to 3rd place. No, he goes P2. He gets the front row.
Nice.
Only just from Calvin. P4 for Ant as well. Ujoni's down to P5.
Jules just pushed himself up to 6th.
He'll be happy with that lap as well. Bobo a little bit out of position in P7. Ferrari boys will be really happy with their day's work for today. I think as well that might be the first time this season, I believe, Chris has been qualified by Jay Sarge again. The former champ getting back to his imperious best.
Form found.
It's good to see him back.
I'm seeing in the chat somebody's just bigging up Ben for his quali lap, which, as I say, is a little bit something else. 3/10 to the next.
It's an insane lap. So there's a lot. Excuse me. As we finish up the session with Ben on pole position with an frankly his amazing lap with a Saviour in P2, Calvin P3 and P4, Ujoni P5, Jules P6 in the McLaren, followed by Bobo, J Sarge, Chris Bailey and Amar Red rounding out the top 10. Then you have Sam Flan in 11th, Colin in 12th, Airways 13th, Bergen 14th, G-Star 15th, Hodgie 16th, LRL 17th, Panizza 18th, Carl in 19th and Lorpy in 20th. Unfortunately disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. So, any predictions for the Grand Prix so far?
Well, I think it's going to be very close. I think we're going to have, I'd imagine, probably a breakaway at the front. Probably the top 6. I'd imagine they're going to, or top 7 I suppose, are probably going to change a little bit and then disappear off with the DRS. I'm going to back Saviour today. I've got a good feeling about Saviour. What about yourself?
I could see Calvin actually having a really good race today. I think he's as you said, if it's one of his favourite tracks, he's got the pace for this place.
Yeah. Definitely have some speed on there the other night. I'm sure there was something in the chat group. I'm sure it was him that said he liked this track. So it does give you an advantage for sure.
Oh yeah. As we just await, he started the race now.
You can see it's in the chat what time we're going. 13 minutes past is the go time,
which is 3 minutes away. Now, as we all know, with America getting 3 Grand Prix on the calendar now, which I think is probably more than any other country we've got, there's been a fair few venues who have hosted the United States Grand Prix. This being the more recent one in Texas. We've had the Indianapolis Motor Speedway quite famously as well, back in the early 2000s.
I was going to say, that's quite a while back. That caused a lot of problems for the tyres, didn't it? Because I think one of the banked corners was diamond cut lines in it.
Yeah, it was the 2005 race, because Firestone, which was one of the branches for Bridgestone, they supplied the IndyCar, so they knew what the banking was like, and they obviously, Michelin didn't do the research that day, so unfortunately what happened with the 6-car grid. But
that was it, was that one. I was trying to think if that was the one where it was the Jordans, wasn't it? And I can't remember.
Yeah, Jordans and the Minardis.
Yeah, no, that was insane. I remember watching that and just thinking, really, are they actually doing this? Is this
yeah, I remember watching that myself. But we've had Phoenix, we've had Detroit host Grand Prix, we've had Long Beach as well. Actually, host Grand Prix from America as well. But there's one still very famous track over in America that used to host the F1 as well, which would have been the old Watkins Glen circuit up in upstate New York. Yes, it was back in the mid 70s. It was the site of, unfortunately, it was going to be Jackie Stewart's last Grand Prix, but his teammate passed away earlier in the weekend, so he didn't race. And that one, but
kind of been a little bit before my time, but
yeah, but it's still, with Cota as well, it's hosted quite a few other sports as well, especially with I believe IndyCar has raced here as well. A certain very young American, Mr. Colton Herta, got his first win here. We've had the MotoGP visit here on a fair few occasions, and NASCAR has started to come here as well.
Yeah, the World Endurance Championship as well. I think they've used this one.
Yeah, well, they've got one of their famous circuits back over at Sebring.
Yeah,
haven't they, with the sports car racing and Daytona? They do like their sport over there. They do like their cars over there in America, don't they?
Yeah, certainly.
But this isn't the only other circuit that they've got actually over in Texas as well, because they do have the oval at the Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I could never quite get into that particular motorsport.
Oh, the oval racing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure when you're there and they're going past at that sort of speed, and obviously everyone wants to see a bit of a moment and all that, but I'm sure that's very, very exciting and very loud and fun.
Oh,
but,
it is.
Yeah, to watch it on TV, I just think as a sport to watch visually, unless you know exactly what's going on, it's yeah, not floating my boat that one.
That's completely fair. That is completely fair as we tick down a little bit more towards lights out time.
Right, the let's go has gone. There we go. Lights on.
As we have the gentlemen going around for the start of their warm-up lap, we just want to remind everybody to ring that bell, comment, like, subscribe, so you do not miss any of this fabulous action. Now,
interesting. Colin's the only one opted to start on the hards.
Yeah, I was expecting more of a split.
Yeah, me too.
With this one.
That's quite interesting. Yeah, I found during our race, I think it was, for me, it was probably as early as lap 7 or 8, and I think we'd even had a safety car moment. So I thought they'd last a bit longer.
Yeah,
we've got to go 12 laps of them, and they just went. The grip, the rear end, everything just went.
It's quite high tire deg here. Being honest, they were not feeling great after about 4 or 5 laps, because I think we had our first safety car about 6, 7.
Yeah,
I believe. So I was one of the cars that went for the hard tires, and then we had the second safety car. I think I may have inadvertently caused the second one because I spun out of turn 1.
Right.
And then the third safety car was we won't gloss over the third safety car because I'm just gonna make myself look a bit worse than I already am. But as we get round to the start of the race, I'm going to do what I normally do: get rid of all the visuals, get rid of all the maps, all the telemetry, so we can watch these cars in all their glory, all 20 of them race up to turn 1 and get us underway.
I'm going to stick myself, just for the viewing purposes, on board with Ant, just to get a view of the view ahead.
Oh, P4. I'm just on board with our pole sitter.
I don't know.
As we just wait.
Right,
1,
I think we're okay.
2, 3, 4, 5. And we are underway here in Texas. Ben with a fantastic start manages to keep ahead of Xavier as we funnel up into turn 1. Xavier keeps P2. Oh, Calvin's had a spin.
Oh, he going wide as well.
Turn 1 as we'll get everything back on this one.
I think winners there, definitely Bailey made up 5 positions out of that start.
Yeah, he's up to P4. He's had a flying start.
Yeah, Bergen's up 4 as well. Manzo 3.
Yep, let's have a quick check on the position changes. Yes, Bailey's been a massive winner.
Yeah.
In this first lap. He's up
shabby for your opening lap.
Up 5 spots. As unfortunately, the biggest loser is Calvin, down 14. And that one, unfortunately, off that first.
on a charge. Oh, surely not.
Yeah, he is. He's trying to line up.
Yeah,
he's trying to line up the McLaren and the Red Bull ahead of him. As Joni and Jules go wheel to wheel. Joni's going to stick up the inside for that next corner. He's got ahead of the McLaren.
Yeah. Nice.
Although, even though it's not my favourite track, I will give it credit where credit's due with this place. You can go wheel to wheel.
Yeah, it's
quite nicely with
fairly
people.
good for that. One or two dodgy corners through the fake maggots Beckett's. You can just about get it done, but it's that's probably the riskiest two wide corners on the track, I reckon.
Yeah, you need to be side by side. There's people in there as Saviour again sets off after Ben, chasing that Haas down, and very good start from himself. Up as I said to P3. Chris, his former teammate, back up to play with him again in P4. Chris will be very, as you said, very happy with the start. Ujoni, it's not made up many positions yet, as I say, still in P5. He's not gone for his alternative strategy tonight. He's one of the normal hard starters tonight. I wonder what made him change his mind on this one. As
I ended up with Colin, didn't it, with the hards.
Yes, as the DRS starts to become available. Let's have a quick ganders down at Calvin as he's trying to get his way, fight his way back up through the field. His teammate, reserved for tonight, Airways, gets him through. Up to P14. Calvin is on the fight back. You'll keep an eye on him during this race. As
Jay Sarge is keeping Armour fairly honest at the moment.
he is, but Armour can be very impressed with himself after this first few laps. He's again reserving tonight, but keeping himself in very big company. Again, and holding his own very nicely.
Yeah, he's got some good pace, Armour. Definitely got some
Very
good pace.
quick, very consistent driver. Very nice guy as well to speak to. He's always willing to give you a hand if need be. Is Armour, which is one of the reasons why this league is so nice. I mean, as I say, everyone helps each other out, don't we?
Yeah, it's anyone ever puts a question up or needs something, it's generally people that jump all over it, which is nice.
Oh yeah, it's always
most of the stuff about this game from joining this league, to be perfectly honest, a while ago now, but yeah, it was a little bit thin on the ground with the knowledge and what have you, but being here has helped wonders.
Yes, as we're going to go back quickly because Jay Sarge has managed to get ahead of the Visa, Cash App, Spotify, PayPal, RB. I will keep adding names onto it until we get the new game and it changes.
Haven't they changed it again already?
They're racing balls already for the new season.
Well, yeah, but it's been a couple of weeks since they announced that now, so...
Yeah, they might have just found more names and... They might have found more names and just fired them at the wall just to see what stuck.
So if you were the fastest lap.
35-2. He's keeping Ben honest at the moment. Ben's not broken away from the DRS.
I was going to look at taking Sarge back down the straight then, but backed out. Maybe he's just going to hang in there and wait for the next DRS.
Yeah, he's going to have to follow in single file behind the Ferrari with the McLaren right up on his gearbox. This is a fantastic camera shot. Just overhead of the circuit.
Heli shots are great.
Yes, I wish there was a way, as I said, with the commentary you could just like dictate what cameras you actually have.
Yeah.
Control a little bit more around the
broadcast. It then brings up another menu with various options.
Yeah, a little bit more interactivity with the cameras as we head back up to the front three. Bobo manages to get ahead of Jules, gets the car stopped.
Almost just retaken Sarge.
Beautiful move around the outside on the Ferrari as he's just got to watch it now. Sarge doesn't stick it back up the inside. Oh, bit of a slap, bit of a tag slapper out there, and I think he's going to lose position to the McLaren too.
Oh, Colin there as well.
Yeah, Colin's getting ready to pounce on the sister team car. Alma's got to just put his head down and just get back into the fight. He knows he can do it.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick scan.
Oh.
Oh, another position.
Yeah.
Loss for Armart, unfortunate, but he's gonna. A little Calvin update for everybody after his unfortunate incident. Turn 1, he's up to P12. Getting his head down.
Armar going back to Armar there. It's just unfortunate. There's quite a few cars fairly close, and the DRS is just killed him all at once.
It was an
hang in there, then he's I mean, he should be able to get Colin back, I would imagine, at least for the next couple of laps, because he's on the hards.
Yeah, they're going to need to fire up a little bit, but we're going to jump back up quickly a second to.
Oh, no.
Bergen has managed to get ahead of. Bergen and Colin has managed to get ahead of J Sarge now. So it's been fairly steady.
Yeah.
Although worryingly for Ujoni, he still hasn't made up any positions yet. The 5 laps, and his 2 title rivals are first and third at the moment.
I've got a feeling he's just comfortable.
You think he's biding his time again?
Yeah, I think so, because he's, like I say, he's got the opportunity. I know he's in a bit of a DRS train, but he's had opportunity. I've been on board a bit to make moves, but he's just been very patient by the looks of it.
Yes, and there are, as we see as well. Lap 6, we see another inevitabilities of life. You're born, you die, you pay taxes, and by some strange twist of fate, Saviour and Chris Bailey always seem to end up on the same part of the track.
Chris is Chris is going to have it done now because Saviour's not got the DRS ahead, I don't think. So it's going to be a done deal.
It's the eternal rivalry of these two, isn't it?
Yeah.
They'll be sick of the sight of each other. Oh, they have so much mutual respect for each other, and they know what each other's they pretty much know each other's strengths and weaknesses. I wonder if they send each other Christmas cards every year. As we'll drop down.
That little move there has just brought Ujoni in a little bit closer again, so I think those three are going to possibly chop and change a little bit more.
Ant's gone for the lead. Ant's got the lead. I think Ben's had a moment.
It's quite a big lead, quite quickly.
Yeah, it's a second, and I saw Ben was ghosted a little bit there. I wonder if he's had a bit of a moment coming out of reverse turn 8, because Chris is right on his tail at the moment in that Ferrari.
I didn't see anything, but definitely lost off a second straight away then. Anyway.
I can't see any damage on the hat.
Big Knox just made a move at the back, taking Airways up to 16th.
He's still plodding along, 7 laps in. Nice work with you, Hodgie. Can't imagine he's in the best of comforts tonight, but I think
Hodgie had time to get too much practice from again. I think I read that.
No. I wonder as well.
Very much looking forward to it.
I wonder as well if Ujoni's actually spotted now that Ben has dropped down to P2 behind Ant and thinking, okay, the pressure's off a little bit more now. I can try and pass Saviour at my own leisure a bit more now and try and not be as rushed for the overtake. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he's hanging in there still. It just doesn't look like he's like really gunning for it at all when you're on board. It's just fairly smooth.
I wonder if he is holding back a bit and just like keeping the tyres as fresh as he can. Because I wonder if he's going to try and overcut really these guys and just like get a few more laps.
Oh, there we go. Dived in the pits.
Oh. That's very early.
What you just said about the overcut, there you go.
Yeah, that's interesting. As he heads, as Saviour gets a 3-second penalty, first one of the leaders tonight. Joni's he's out on the hard tyres.
20 laps.
It's doable, but the only worry he's got at the moment is he's going to be out behind a lot of traffic.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got to think he's probably, if he gets 2 or 3 laps to get the tyres up to 10, then at that point you've got people on laps 9, 10, possibly 11 on their mediums, and they're going to start dropping like flies because that's what they do, and then the pits will come and he'll get a jump right back to where he started from.
Yeah, as Jules has taken Bobo. Calvin updates his own, actually made it back into the top 10 now, and he's right up with Armar Red. And Armar Red's gone wide, and Calvin has got into P8, so he's on a charge tonight, is Calvin. He's making up for what happened to him at the start, and he's coming back with a vengeance. Do not count Calvin out yet for a very good result tonight. Saviour, is he responding to Ujoni?
I think he might be.
As we'll check tyres to see what he goes on to. Guessing it should be a set of hards. I am correct.
So.
Although he's holding in the pit lane, no, it was the connection again. Thought he had a penalty for a minute there, but I think Ujoni's out ahead of him.
Right, there you go. It's the overcut job done.
Yeah, the undercut worked for Ujoni, so he's got one of them, and he's got a bit of a gap now to the next car in the Kick Sauber Panizza. Sam Flam's retired, but I think he's in the
pits.
Yeah, so I don't think that should cause a safety car.
So I didn't see anything or notice a drop off in Sam Flam there, so I don't know what happened.
It's unfortunate for him, as Armar lining back up and trying to line up a move on the Mercedes again, going into the turn on the end of the back straight. And I wonder now if the leaders are going to look at pitting. Anyone else of that front three is going to pit.
I mean, do we know what's actually going on here? Are they under a virtual or?
No, I think it's the Alpine in turn 1. Sam Flan's car's back out on the track again, because you know when you retire in the pits, it takes the car back out again, unfortunately.
Oh, there we go, it's gone. I've just seen it literally drop off the track.
Jules has come in. I think he'll go onto the hard tyres too. But this is interesting now for Colin, sorry, because he's on the opposite tyre, and he should be in the pound seat now. He should be having the better tyre life, but everyone else's tyres are dropping off. As Joni has taken Panizza, he's got a car between himself and Saviour. Jules is out P13. Calvin's done his pit stop and he's back at P14. So he again is a man on the mission tonight. And we've had J-Stars, G-Stars and Airways, they're all done their pit stops as well. So let's have a quick gander at see who else to pit. Sorry, what were you saying?
Sorry, I was on that amazing helicopter view with Mark and Ugoni going right at it, and it was fantastic.
Oh,
Mark had a little wobble at one point, but managed to hold on to it, and now Ugoni's just got him on the back straight.
Yeah, just went down to him quickly to have a quick look at what's happened. Still strong run for the Williams man tonight.
Yeah.
Especially driving with only one good ankle.
And he's not pitted yet either, so still doing alright on those tyres.
Good points. And the front, again, the first three still haven't pitted. Bobo eventually he's going into the pit lane, he's coming in. And RL's following him in. Now Joni can put the hammer down. He's got the gap now to the next few cars. So we can start pumping in laps now and see what everyone is, because the leaders are only just at the first sector now.
Yeah, it's not going to be long. Things will start evening out again shortly and we'll see where everyone is.
Well, it's 17 seconds Ujoni's got now to the leader. And it's, what, 20, would you say about 18, 20 seconds for a pit stop around here?
Yeah, I think round closer to 20, I'm thinking.
So Joni is, if the timing is right, he's probably going to be out in the net lead at the moment.
Well, it wouldn't surprise.
because the point is as well with these three, if these three have been fighting for the many laps that they have, they're just going to be slowing each other up. And that's going to bring Ujoni back into play. I wonder as well though, if Colin still hasn't pitted before Ujoni gets to the back of him, I wonder if he's going to let Ujoni through.
Yeah, that'd be quite interesting. Do you know if they're on the chat when they're racing or not?
I don't know, but logic would dictate, as I say. Oh, the front three are in.
Here we go.
All on the same lap. Now let's go back to Ujoni and see where he is. He's already passing the pit lane. Ujoni's got all three of them.
Yeah, look.
And Saviour has.
And time in hand.
Oh, safety car's just been called out as well.
Oh. Now that's timing.
Who does this help? We should expect the front two, Colin and Armar, to pit now.
Yeah, that's going to really, really hurt them now, isn't it?
Colin should be okay actually, because if he's going to go, he's going to swap. He'll go to the medium tyres, and we'll have what, 14 laps probably of racing after this. 13, yeah. 14?
I mean, so, it's doable, I suppose.
He could be
on tyres.
He could be a dark. The car's going to be a lot lighter now, especially after the start of the race. So he could be in for a shout at this one.
Yeah, obviously, they're all going to be close. So all he's got to do really is stay in the DRS, and then he can make all his moves into the corners.
He could, and he's going to be interesting now to see where they come out. This front two.
Yeah, I think this is going to harm their...
Yeah, but the rest of the pack is going to be going at a much slower pace, though. I don't think they're going to lose too many positions. P6... P7th... P8, not terrible. Now the shoes are on the other foot with Colin now, because he's on the mediums while everyone else is on the hard tyres.
Let's get the job done quick as after that safety car.
He's going to need all the laps he can get. But now the tables have turned in terms of the battle up front, because as it was Ben who was leading the race earlier with Saviour and then Ujoni, and now it's flipped on its head.
I'm wondering if the safety car potentially could come out at the end of this, come in at the end of this lap. That's a bit early, but the pack's going to catch up in time. I'm wondering if everyone that has just pitted for the hards is now regretting the choice and thinking maybe they should have gone medium.
It's a possibility. It is a very, very strong possibility.
Then yeah, 14 laps, 13, 14 laps would be laughing.
Nope, we are staying at. The Mylander is going to grace us with his presence for one more lap.
Awfully nice of him.
We do miss him. Well, he had a good run out for our race, didn't he?
Yeah, he did alright, didn't he?
Yeah, he was busy.
Get things in check.
Maybe this extra lap may help Colin with those mediums to get them to the end.
Yeah, looks like Bergen's done the same thing as well.
Oh, has he done another stop to get onto the... Yep, he's done another swap. He swapped to the mediums as well. So his tyres should be a bit fresher than Colin's, only by a lap. But I think if we should go racing probably by the end of this lap. 13 to go.
Really, we've got Ant Bailey and Ben sort of in the best position really at the moment, just with the tyre wear from the two ahead.
Yes, because let's have a quick check. There's a lap difference between Saviour and Ujoni on their tyres, but Ben's got 3 to 4 laps on them. So that's the risk when you run with the undercut. You have to manage your tyres a bit close to the end of the race as safety car comes in. And Ujoni becomes that pace-setting safety car now into this final sector. Tries to let the safety car get as much distance as it can. He's backing them up.
At a reasonable pace though.
Yeah, he's not doing any of the stop-start stuff as the lights are out on the safety car. Joni's just waiting for the right opportunity to gun it. I think he's going to try and go out the final corner, and yep, he has.
Yep, down.
Caught Saviour a little bit napping, but I think Saviour's going to have Ben right in his gearbox to worry about. Tries a little psych out, and no joy as Armour and Calvin go wheel to wheel up through turn 1. Sticking on there, and Armour unfortunately has to back out, seating P9 to the Mercedes man. As everybody just settles in and gets their tyres back up to working temperature. Oh, Sarge, another 3 seconds. Let's have a quick gander at those penalties. 3 across the board for Saviour, Colin and Bergen, with 6 seconds for Sarge. Unfortunate for tonight. Not as many as I thought there would be tonight in terms of penalties, given where we're racing.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's normally quite harsh on the track limits as this place.
Still plenty of laps to go though.
Yep. I've just cursed them all now. The floodgates will open in a lap or two.
Looking easy places. Colin's Bobo and Colin just swap positions there, I think.
I think that's the tyre advantage of the mediums coming into play for the Red Bull man. He's going to be starting to chase after that McLaren of Jules for P6 in the not too distant future, but everybody's favourite 3 letters in F1 has just come back online. The DRS is back, people. Be prepared for a lot of overtakes. As we...
That's time Collins making it, but it's not really gaining as much as I thought through turn 1 and 2 and 3. It's keeping consistent.
Who was that, sorry?
Collins, sorry. I thought it'd be reeling them in, but it's remaining about half a second, the gap ahead.
Yeah, he's... the tyre advantage is getting mitigated, unfortunately, by everyone else in front. As he's right on Jules' tail. He should have the DRS on the McLaren on this next straight.
I think Ben's about to get Saviour done. Oh, hold on.
Joni's having to block. Yeah, Saviour is going for the lead.
Ho, ho, ho.
No, Joni's kept it. Ben around the outside for P2. Need to swap to another camera. Right round the outside of the Aston Martin.
Some great driving there.
Not pulling his punches is Ben tonight.
Come together.
Saviour's got to be careful though now. He's not going to lose any more positions because he's got Ant right on his gearbox and he doesn't not want to let those front two get away for the championship.
Not as good of an exit out of the last turn and there onto the straight.
Ben's going to try for the dive in turn 1. Doesn't work out.
All the time this is happening, I think Bailey again is just sort of sat behind a lot of them, just watching, waiting for a moment.
Yes, Chris is. He's just like that. He's like the striker, just waiting in the 89th minute, just for that one, that one pass. Just sink that ball and get the match win. Isn't he? Is Colin and Jules going wheel to wheel? Down the back straight. Bobo in tow. We're going to go quick back to the leaders because Joni has been passed by Ben for the lead. Saviour's not there. What's done is Jules up the inside of Chris. A little bit wide. Chris is going to try and go back around the outside of the McLaren.
I think he's got it down.
I think he has, yeah, but he's got to watch out for that Red Bull. As well on those nice fresh medium tyres. Taking it. It's like we said, you can run wheel to wheel on this place, and it's one of the reasons why it's a good track. But
good to watch.
It's just not my favourite in terms of pace.
One more fastest lap of the race. 35.
And that one is he trying to settle down a little bit.
Just done with Collins, seeing if he can make any headway, but he seems to be stuck in a little train.
Yeah, he's stuck behind that McLaren, isn't he?
Capitalise on those tyres. Calvin as well, he's going to get a move done on Bobo.
He's had a very good fight back as Calvin tonight.
Yeah,
that first lap.
Not been too shabby at all, has it really?
No, it hasn't.
He lost what 14 at the beginning, and now he's only down 6. So he's clawed it back very well.
He has. He could be very proud of his night's work. It's still hovering around half a second, the gap between the front two. Saviour just in that little pocket, just waiting with the and right up on his gearbox, and Chris saying, I'm still here as well, people. Don't you forget about the blowhole.
I do get the impression they're just literally biding time. That's a bit early to make a break at the moment.
It is. Everyone's still trying to work out each other at the minute to see who's strong, where everyone's weak is, and everything like that.
Mark's going to sit on board with Mark on the rear end of G-Star at the moment. See what we can
Jules
do.
has got the 3 seconds now.
Unfortunate.
I think Ant's had a moment as well. Chris has got ahead of him. Slow heading down towards the hairpin. So with the way it's hanging on the moment, Chris is on for a net P3.
There we go. Mark's got the move done on G-Star at the back, so he's moved himself up into 14. G-Star's fighting it there.
Let's have a quick gander as to what's going on. Wheel to wheel with each other. As Ben's starting to break away now, he's getting that gap up. 7/10 to the Red Bull man. As lap 20 has started, 8 to go. There's Bailey with that fastest lap.
First in the 134s.
How key is that going to be towards the end of the season?
Still 8 laps to go yet. I wonder if that's gonna hold.
It might do.
Jason's close to Armour. And Jason's the closest backman I think at the moment.
Yes, but he's got to watch out with that penalty, especially with LRL and Airways not far within penalty striking distance. He has another look at Ben into that off that second DRS zone. Try and just work him out still. Let's see where he's weak. See where he could possibly do a move. See where he could possibly exploit. Xavier hanging on to the back of him still in P3, but he's got that penalty still to worry about.
Yeah, it looks like the two of them are pulling slightly ahead on the gap from Xavier.
I wonder if Xavier's trying to pull Chris along with him as well to try and get back up to those two.
Seems to get a sort of better traction out of the corners. Maybe that's where the gap's going up. Yeah, next one's LRL and Sarge. He's crept up onto the back of Sarge, so. Got the DRS ahead.
I think Joni's a bit closer this time. No, thinks better of it in the next lap. Another place for Hodgie up to P13.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just saw him drop ahead of Rezo.
As this race starts to into the closing stages, 6 to go.
Another 3 seconds for Jules.
That's going to hurt him. Like Sarge, he's on the 6 seconds.
He's following as well now. I think he's on about 9 lap old mediums. I think he's probably, unless he's an absolute whiz with his tyres, he's probably took too many chances now of really getting up there, up the field a little bit more before the race time runs out.
We head down to this, as I say, with 6 laps to go.
Still waiting, are they? Oh,
Yeah,
we just lost Mark at the back of the track there.
oh, yellow flag. I hope he's.
And then somebody must have been involved there, because there was another car pulled over to the side then as if to re-give a position.
Can't see any damage on the Williams.
Looks alright, does it? Yeah, both them folks are there. I didn't see what happened. When I cut to it, there was just the car sort of almost in the middle of the track.
Oh, Jules, another 3 seconds.
That's Jules just pushing now, isn't it? Try and keep
I think
Bobo
so.
away. Yeah, not paid off at all. Oh, Sarge.
Oh.
Everyone's going for it now.
Yeah, everyone's taking the throwing the kid gloves off and just says, right, if we're gonna have a fight for this last 6 laps, and so be it. Jules and Colin still at it. This isn't helping Jules' cause though, because he's got 6 seconds more penalties compared to Colin. And Bobo's going to be ahead of them both come the end of the race.
At the start of the race I said I put my money on Saviour, I think, didn't I? And in a good position for that at the moment, I guess, but also the 2 cars behind him have got a couple of laps newer tyres, and also all within DRS. So he's going to have to do something a bit special, I think, the last few laps to get the win.
It is. It's going to be an interesting final few tours of the circuit. See who's going to win. As we wind down towards the end of this Grand Prix.
Just looking at the very back and just following G-Star around just for the closest 2 on the track at the moment. He's all over Mark. I don't know if Mark maybe did get some damage that we can't see or not.
Yeah, he might have had the... Although with the 4 lap older tyres, Ben has not dropped to Joni. Has he?
No.
I wonder if Chris has worked out now. It just needs to stick with Sabres to get that P3. Which will be an impressive day's work for him.
Yeah, we're going too bad, isn't it?
Up 5 positions from his qualifying spot.
Only him now and Colin, I think we went for the alternate strategy, I think, and we've made up 5 altogether. LRL actually, 6 positions gained since the start, so that's not too bad. I'm on board with Saviour at the moment, and it looks like his rear end's a little bit slippy.
I wonder if he's running slightly lower wing than everyone else in front of him, because he's struggling a bit for traction out of that corner. I think Chris is going to be on the DRS, and the battery as well to try and get past in this lap. I think he's going to get him.
I think he's going to get it done, yeah.
He is, and I think Ant's going to follow him through too. Oh, bit of contact. Yep, both keeping it the right way. Oh, another little bash. A little wheel banging, but they're still going.
They're just hanging in.
He is. I think Chris is starting to get away now. I think he's gapping. Oh. Updates are up as we go to lap 26 of the 28. I think if Chris can stay, he just needs to fend off Xavier a bit more now, and just hopefully make sure Ant tries to have a go at him as well.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, he's not going to be too concerned about how close Xavier is with the penalty.
It's going to be Ant's is going to be his major problem, but
yeah.
I don't think Chris is going to have anything for the front two. I don't think, unless there's something very majorly happening in the next 2 laps.
No, I'm looking at the gap, to be honest, and it does look like it is increasing ever so slightly.
Yeah, it's looking stable.
So yeah, so which of the top 2 at the moment then, unless something happens, are you actually put in on the top of the podium?
Yeah, but as I said, oh, Joni's looking a little bit...
That was a bit snaky there, wasn't it?
Yeah. This should put Joni into P2 into the championship with tonight's results, so he'll lose a few more points to Ben, but I think Jules had a moment. Jules has had a moment. Drop down a few positions, but I wonder if Joni's going to try something in the last 2 laps. What they'll think of the championship as Ant is through on Xavier into P4. A little bit weary on the outside. I think Chris Xavier's got him back.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the top 2 at the moment. I'm not going to mention what's what on stream, but looking at the battery availability.
The Duracell meter.
Yeah, it's going to make things interesting. It has changed quite dramatically as well, literally in the last few corners. One of said drivers has got a fantastic recharge going on.
We won't divulge who is doing what. So.
No, I won't say what's what. But yeah, I was quite impressed watching how quickly.
I think Ant's going to try and get Xavier back, but I wonder if Ant knows, as I say, he just needs to stick with Xavier and he has that P4 on lock. As we're just having a quick look through now, as we're just getting into the last lap, major shout out to Galvin.
Yeah, it's good recovery.
Especially after lap 1, coming back to P6 where he is at the moment. Just think what could have been. At lap 1, as we go on to the final lap here with just over half a second separating Ben and Joni. As we get through,
might have to watch the old track limits as well, because definitely just had a moment coming out of the last turn, well, into the last turning.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be. He's getting closer.
He is indeed.
He's closer than he's ever been.
Oh, a little lock up.
And I wonder if he's burning through that battery to try and get the overtake. Ben is going to defend.
He's trying to break that slipstream, isn't he?
He is.
He's going to go to the
Joni's going to look at it. He's got him.
Done.
Lead switch on the final lap.
He's still there.
Joni's keeping the inside.
Is he going to dart up the inside? No,
Oh, nearly
covers the
contact.
inside.
It's gonna be round this corner. It's gonna be a mega finish, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, just
less than a tenth.
Just anything, get round them. Oh,
little squirrely. Joni may have just timed this to perfection.
Yeah.
Round the final corner, he takes it by less than 2/10 of a second. What a finish! Xavier takes P3 on the road, but he's going to lose it to Ant and to Chris. Chris completes the podium with Ant in P4, Xavier P5, Bobo can P6, Calvin P7, Armar can hold his head up high for a P8, P9 for LRL. Colin takes P10s. No, Airways is P10.
Places.
Airways is P10. Colin P11. J Sarge P12. Jules was 13th, but for some reason decided to bug out on me. Then I didn't see who the rest of the finishers were.
Disappeared from my screen.
It did, and game gives driver of the day to Joni. Can you agree with that?
Yeah, probably I can. I mean, I want to give a mention to Calvin for the recovery drive.
For the fight back, yes.
Which was pretty damn good. It'll be a bit demoralising to be like that at the start of a race, but yeah, great recovery. But yeah, Ugoni as well. You started in 4th, 5th, was it in the end?
Yeah,
5th,
P5.
actually.
Went on that early stop, yeah.
Yeah, great performance.
I think we have to agree with that, as Joni takes the win. Right, as the final results are, Joni takes the win with Ben P2, Chris P3 and P4, Xavier P5, Bobo P6, then you have Calvin 7, Armar 8, LRL 9, Airways 10, Colin 11, Sarge 12, G-Star 13th, Mark with his bad ankle gets 2 points in 14th, Bergen 15th, Carl 16th. It says Jules is P17, but I think maybe a little bit of glitch through the game. We'll have to have a check. Panita 18th, Sam Flan and Lord P unfortunately were the DNFs. But again, Steve, thank you again for joining me on a fantastic Monday night. We've been thoroughly entertained.
Again, race. Good to watch.
It was an entertaining one, but we are not done there, ladies and gentlemen, because we have tier 3. They get their turn in the Lone Star State starting at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night, and then we have the X-treme boys. They start their little Texas adventure at 8:45, and then just because we're very nice people, there's one more race, which is the MRC-X race, which I believe is it Holland, I believe?
Friday's race is... Yes, indeed. Oh, no, sorry. Melbourne.
Ah, it's Australia. Going down to Albert. We're going to Albert Park.
Yes,
after the RL Grand Prix. But again, Steve, it has been a pleasure. Thanks again for joining me for this one.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Enjoyed it.
And we will see you guys on Wednesday for Tier 3. Take care, everybody.